Hi, hello, how are you? I'm well. Thanks for asking. There we go. The old YouTube intro is back. Um, Boy, have I got a special treat for you today. As you might have noticed, my shirt. What's way to go here? The Cat Father. There we go. Today I am going to be introducing you to all of my cats. That's 3 cats in total. I got this shirt for Christmas. Can't quite see it all. Here we go. Yeah, 2 cats there. Tabby and a black one. It's actually a tuxedo cat, but that's what they had on the website apparently. Got this for Christmas from my mum. Very cool of me. And also, I'm wearing this necklace, which is my favorite necklace. And it has the initials of every cat that I have ever lived with, which is very cool. So as you can see here, it should have a H. I'm not showing this very well because it's hard to show these little letters, but it has a H. That was the first cat I had, Holly. Next, and I had her for about nearly 20 years, I reckon. She only passed away a few years ago. We had her since she was born, since she was a little kitten. So that's like kind of the family cat that I grew up with and had. Next is a letter P for Puss in Boots, or Pudda as we would call him. He was Holly's brother. We got them together, but he died quite young, sadly. Next should be an L for Lincoln, a big ginger cat with a big bushy tail. He also lived for about 20 years. We've had some very good runs here. He only passed away a couple years ago as well. Next to that, we should have an I. I don't know if you can quite see that. The letter I for Isabel. Or Mel was a pet name. All of your pets have to have a pet name, otherwise you're doing it wrong. You can't actually call them their proper name because that would be sacrilege. She was a big, fat tabby cat who we always said was married to Lincoln because they loved each other so much. It was very sad. She ended up passing away before him, but they had a very long life together. That was very good. The next is the letter, where's my hand? The letter R here for Ralph, who we call Rafe. He's still alive and kicking. He's getting pretty close, I think, but he's doing very well. Little ginger cat. He's an angry boy, Rafe, at times, but he's getting old these days. I think there should have been another one in here for a cat named John. He's the biggest cat we've ever had. He's like 10 kilos or something. Like, he's enormous, but he's a very, very lovely boy. Nothing going on up there. He's not the brightest, but he's a big boy. So that would have been in between there, probably. My mum has also had more cats that I've kind of been around and lived around, but these are the ones that I've lived with mostly. And I think I did live with John for a while, so but he's a very big boy. Then next we come to the 2 cats that I now have. We should have this one here should be the letter, I don't know if you can see any of these, but an L for Louie, who you're going to meet in a moment. And then we've had her for a few years now. She's what, 4 or 5 years old, something like that. I'll get more into that when I introduce her. And then on the very end here we have an I for Ichi, who you'll also meet today. And there is one more since I have gotten this necklace, and that is Chiki, who you will also see. You're very lucky because they are my babies. So I think we just get straight to it. Okay, first up we have Louie. Now, none of these cats particularly like being held, so this could be a tricky one. I'll probably have to overlay this with videos and clips that I have recorded and photos. As you can see, she's already kind of wriggling. Oh, I'll try and pick her up again. So this is Louie. We got her probably 4 years ago now, I think it was. And she was 18 months when we got her. She had been dropped at the at the pound, the RSPCA, because apparently she didn't get along with the family's dog, which was very sad. So my partner just happened to be at the RSPCA that day visiting some cats, and Louis had just been brought in. And so they bonded very quickly, and she ended up taking her home. And now her and I have bonded. She's very much a daddy's girl. Oh, she's getting a bit round, but she's very short. She's very compact, is what we would say. Oh, okay, off you go. She is, yes, very affectionate on her terms, which is kind of typical of a cat, I think you would imagine. But her full government name is Louis Kuitton, after the brand name Louis Vuitton, a cat pun. Not what I would have chosen for the name, but we'll take it, and now she fits Louis perfectly, I think. Every night she sleeps on my bed. I'm a stomach sleeper, so she'll lay in between my legs, so kind of resting her head on my bum. It's a good pillow, so she'll lay there pretty much every night. We have a nighttime routine of we'll do little biscuit treats that we give them, kind of to say, all right, it's bedtime now, you can go to bed. They usually run around for a minute afterwards because I think there's some catnip in the biscuits, but then they come to bed pretty quickly. She also has this routine of, not every night, but almost every night, she'll go off and catch something like a toy in the house, but she'll catch it as if she's caught a mouse or a bird, and she'll do these like horrific meow sounds. If you have a cat, you will have heard them before when they catch something, and she'll bring this toy into the bedroom, and we kind of celebrate and say, yay, thank you very much for the gift. And it's like a squishy cheese plush or something really, really cute. She brought us a big donut the other day, like this big or something, which is bigger than her head. Every time when she eats, she needs to always be looking back or looking up at you to check if you're still there. When we feed her, I get up and feed her at 5-6 o'clock in the morning, because that's when she decides it's time for food. I'll go out there and feed her, and I'll come back to bed. When I get up later in the day, the biscuits are still there. She's not eaten many more, and so I have to go over and watch her eat, and she will be head down, munching away, and she'll look up just to make sure I'm still looking, and then go back to eating. And she's also, we introduced her to our other cats, and we were worried that she might not get along with them so well, because she was brought back because she didn't get along with the family's dog, and she's been great. She's been really, really good. She's become a bit of a mother, big sister of the three cats. Ichi, who you'll meet in a moment, is a big sook and always needs cuddles and licks from his big sister, and she makes him feel a lot better, so we're really happy with how she's gone. But that is Louis. Okay, he's stuck. And here, this is going to be the hardest one. We have Ichi Boy. His government name, Yoruichi, which is a character from Bleach, my favorite character. Because Yoruichi, if you've seen Bleach, is a very hot woman, but she turns into a black cat, and she's introduced as a black cat with a man's voice. She's a really, really cool character. And so we've got Ichi, our big boy tuxedo cat. He is, how old is he? Maybe 2.5? Can't quite think. So my mum rescued a gorgeous ragdoll cat a couple years ago, and the ragdoll was pregnant. We found out, and so she ended up having a litter of about 6 cats, I think it was. And Ichi here, he had the least white on his face, on his little chin, and he's got one little spot you can't quite see just above his lip. And he is, Ichi Boy, the biggest boy that we have at the moment. He is, we have a automatic litter, and it can track the weight of the cats that use it. And the weight kind of fluctuates for him. It says he's either 7 kilos or 8.5 kilos. And regardless, that is huge. If it's 7 or 8.5, very, very big. Louis, for example, who you just saw, is about 4.5 kilos. So almost twice the size. But he is the biggest baby. He's a big, big sook. Usually you can't pick him up without him crying. He hates it. But he loves a big stretch. He's a very good stretcher, unlike Louis. He does the biggest stretches in all kinds of ways. He has his favourite toys. He can play fetch with a little spring toy that is no longer a spring. It's more just like a uncoiled wire, really. If it's like a laser pointer, or his favourite toy is a black shoelace, and you just chase around the shoelace around the lounge room and he will go and get it. He gets very scared. If anyone comes into the house that he doesn't know, he tucks himself under my blanket to stay safe next to me. He's always going up to Louis for some cuddles. And he invented a thing that we call suckle mode, where, you know, like when a kitten suckles on their mother to like feed. It's something that he never really grew out of. So he will come up and make bickies, and he will come up and make bickies on you, and also suckle with his tongue and his mouth, and leaves a huge wet patch. It's so cute. And it just means that he needs some cuddles and some loving. He's a big, big boy. You'll see from the pictures and things that I've got up at the moment and videos and stuff that he's enormous in comparison to Louis. I'm sure he's probably still growing as well, to be honest. It's taken him a little bit longer to get used to Chicky, who you'll see in a moment. But we're getting there. We're getting there nice and slow. We like to have sleeps all on the couch together. So that is Ichi. We have Chikm. We call her Chicky. Her government name is Chikm Nuhgut. The spelling will be on the screen, and yes, that is how you spell it. We just recently rescued her about a month ago. She started turning up sort of across the street or at our front yard, in our driveway, and she was in really bad shape. She had scabs on her head, sores all over her body. She had fleas. She was very, very skinny. You could feel all of her bones. And she was so small. She's still a kitten. She's less than a year old. They don't know exactly how old. But so we started feeding her. She was super, super affectionate. So we started feeding her when we could, giving her some water just so she had something, and she was eating like she'd never eaten before. And so we started trying to catch her, and we would take her to the vet. It took us a few weeks, and then didn't have any luck. And then there was one weekend where a really horrible storm was going to come in. And I didn't feel good about her being out there for the storm. And so I put out a little carrier, put some biscuits and some water inside the carrier, and then covered it with a blanket or a towel. And I turned my back, and 5 seconds later, she's in there munching down. And so I thought, this is it, this is the moment, I've got to catch her. And managed to get her after a few weeks of trying. So we took her in, took her to the vet. She needed some injections and stuff to heal her up, and then we kept her separate for a while. We got all of her surgeries, all her injections done. But she's doing really, really well. We have just started to integrate her with our other cats, which has been slow going. It's been a struggle, admittedly. It's been maybe 3 weeks at this point, I think. The first week went okay, but then from there, things have gotten progressively more difficult. So she may need to go and stay with her mum for a while. and then we'll kind of retry again a little bit later when we have some different circumstances. But she's a very, very gorgeous girl. She loves head boops. As you can see, she loves a chin scratch as well. She's very, very good, but with our other cats around, she tends to hide a little bit. And we're doing what we can to help integrate, and using these sprays and feeding them treats and all sorts of things, and keeping the room separate. She's got her own separate food and water and litter to use. And since we started to block her off again overnight, she's been really good. We let her out at night for a while, like let her roam the house. Not let her outside. They're all indoor cats. We let her roam for a little while, but one of our other cats was very territorial, and so didn't take kindly to her being out on the prowl. But that's okay. She's got her own little spot in here. We keep her in this room. She likes to sleep over there on the couch, which you'll see in my office tour at some point later on. But she's a very gorgeous girl, and she's doing very well. But she might just need some time on her own again to settle and kind of reset. We'll see how we go, but she's doing very, very well. She's doing much better than she was. She was not in a good way at all. But now we've got her. This has been Chicky. Chicky, say goodbye. Say goodbye, chicken. Bye-bye. Okay. Okay, and so that is all of the cats that you've now met. They're having a lovely time, hopefully, all together. We're still getting used to each other, but we're taking it slow and making sure that they all feel as safe and comfortable as possible. But I've always been a cat person, and I will always be a cat person, so hopefully you are too. I think the thoughts around having cats as pets needs to change a lot, especially amongst men, I think. I remember going to university, and they had a vote one day of, do you choose dogs or cats? And the lecturer said something really quite awful about anyone who would choose cats, and I was the only person in the room to choose cats. So now if you like cats at all, it's a big green flag on my end. They're great. They love a cuddle, even if, big dog wants you to think that that cats aren't good pets and don't love you, and they absolutely do. They love a cuddle, they love bickies, they love food, and they just like to do their own things sometimes, which is cool. But if you do have cats, please keep them indoors. Don't take them outside. You can take them outside supervised or on a harness with a leash and that kind of thing, or in a cat run or something fenced off, but please don't let your cats out in public, like overnight, or just to roam free. Like, it's not good for them, especially if they're not desexed or anything like that. Yeah, just keep them safe, give them lots of love, keep them nice and warm and cozy, and they'll live a good life with you. So I hope you've enjoyed meeting all the babies. I'm sure you'll see them in future videos or live streams or anything that I do. They love to kind of come in, and they sometimes can't keep away from me for very long, which I love and don't want that to change at all. So please tell me about your cats that you have. Tell me or if it's not cats, tell me your dogs and your pets. I love to hear about all the animals that you might have. Leave comments, post pictures of your animals. Love them, support them. Yeah, I'm excited to see and hear about your pets and your cats. I'm a big softie for animals and cats in particular. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one, I guess. Bye-bye.